Early on, we all talk about the ease of doing business. From your perspective, from Denmark as a country as well, what kind of ease of doing business need to be realized by definition from Indonesia?
As I said, I think we've seen for the past 5 years, Jokowi's first period, a considerable improvement in the ease of doing business in a number of areas. And I think from my conversations with Danish companies, that has certainly been felt, and they are quite appreciative. But of course, going forward, there are still areas where they would like to see further improvement. If I should just point to one area, I think it would be sort of the stability and the consistency of the regulation. Again, for investors, for companies operating here, what they need first and foremost is certainty. And also when new regulation is being issued, that industry and all relevant players, stakeholders has really been consulted and taken into account. That would typically tend to improve the quality of the legislation and then make sure that the legislation is something that can that you don't change within, say, next year the regulation will change again, and so on and so forth. Because if you're going to invest a lot of people, you need that stability in the regulatory framework.
Consistency and stability.
Yeah.
Okay. I remember now the Indonesia and Denmark government has already like environment support program phase 3, and it ended in 2018 last year. I wonder whether it's going to be, there's another new phase, or it will be new SIM to channel the cooperation between Denmark and Indonesia government to support like transfer of technology or linkage or anything.
Well, certainly. I mean, this is not the end of it. This is just the end of a phase of what we call the ESP3 program, environmental support program. But I think there is a qualitative change in the sense that our cooperation, our assistance in the past has been, let's say, a traditional development assistance. And as Indonesia developed and has developed, and becoming an upper middle income country, in a Danish context, it no longer qualifies for sort of traditional development assistance. And that's, I think, only fair. I mean, you as a country has developed, and now we need to find other ways of cooperating. So now we are replacing this program with new forms of program that is more focusing on technical cooperation and technology transfer that matches the development level that Indonesia has actually reached.
Is there any certain sector that you are like eyeing about transfer technology? Is it on renewable energy sector, or there are already also another sector?
No, we have three big programs here. One is up and running and has been so for 3 to 4 years on energy, renewable energy, but also energy efficiency. The second relates to waste management that we have also discussed. A big program to support the Indonesian government on improving its waste management capabilities. And then finally, food and agriculture as a third point.
Can we say that it's a bridge for another investment to come to Indonesia? So if you, like you said, to create the scope of the business, then the investment will come in. And now maybe the Indonesian technology is not very advanced, and when we got that point, we are more advanced. Do you think that it will be invite more investment from Danish, particularly Danish companies?
Yes, I think what we, again, if you look at our assistance in the past, has very much been like improving some basic capabilities and also investing in some specific projects or plans to showcase that the technology works, so this can be implemented in Indonesia. I think what we will see going forward is us taking a much bigger interest in helping to facilitate projects, in the sense that we can help develop a project that would then be more ready for international investors to come in. Because I think what we've seen in the past is that there's been a big gap between, let's say, the technical assistance that has been provided and something that has an investment grade in a quality where investors would come and say, okay, this looks interesting. I will be interested in further developing this to something that becomes a real project. Yeah.
Okay, and when will you think that? Yeah, but if you talk about target or ideal target, it may be happen where investor from abroad, international investor or Danish companies come to Indonesia and invest in the technology or anything that you mentioned.
Well, related to our bilateral cooperation, I think that will happen very soon. One of the projects that we have been working on for the past year has been to do energy planning for the island of Lombok. So basically say, okay, if you have an island the size of Lombok and you actually have an ambition to increase the amount of renewables, but in a way that is cost efficient. So renewables that would either be at the same price or cheaper than the alternative, which typically will be diesel or coal. What we've done, the work we've done there shows that Lombok could actually achieve somewhere between 40 and 60% renewables in the coming 10 years. And the next phase of that project will be to make it more concrete and actually help facilitate concrete projects that could be investment objects for Danish or other international companies.
Yeah.